past 7-8 years. So, Dr. Abhik Kumar Mukherjee, he is assistant professor in the Department of Business Administration, the University of Bardhaman since September 2014. Prior to joining the University of Bardhaman, he was with St. Xavier's College, Kolkata since 2007. He has been teaching postgraduate courses since 2011-12 and had been associated with the Department of Commerce, University of Calcutta, Postgraduate Department of Commerce at Sri Sikshayatan College, Kolkata, Postgraduate Department of Commerce at Bhavanipur Education Society, Kolkata, etc. Coming to his academic background, he is a graduate of St. Xavier's College, Kolkata, and he did his master's in commerce from University of Calcutta. He is a rank holder also. He was awarded MPhil and PhD in commerce from University of Calcutta. He is also PGDBA finance from Symbiosis Institute, Pune, and accounting technician certificate of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. He has authored 4 books in all, 3 of them on accounting and 1 book on entrepreneurship development for undergraduate programs, which have been recommended by various universities. He has presented various research papers, 33 to be precise, in international and national conferences and seminars. He has also published a number of research articles in various journals and edited books. He has also acted as resource persons in different workshops, faculty development programs, seminars, webinars. As you all know that for the last 2 years, we are not in a position to attend seminars in physical form, so webinars are being conducted. So Dr. Mukherjee also, he has acted as resource persons in different webinars. So, and moreover, he's an esteemed colleague, he will be talking on developing and writing teaching cases today, in fact. So with this brief introduction, I hand over the session to Dr. Mukherjee. Dr. Mukherjee, please. Dr. Mukherjee, please unmute. Dr. Mukherjee, please unmute.
Yeah, am I audible now?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Thank you, Professor Tripathi. So you have introduced me to our own platform where I have been introducing the other participants. So thank you for the doing the honors. Okay, dear participants, good morning to all of you. So today we are about to start the penultimate day, the 4th day of this 5-day long FDP. And all of you have been acquainted. We have been transparent about the developments which has been happening. So now in this situation, yesterday we made a contingency plan, and as I let you know over the WhatsApp group that what we have decided, the so, and nice suggestion came from many of you. So whatever I have in this situation, what I have decided is that here the different sessions are touching upon different requirements of our teaching career. So teaching requirements, if I may say. So one thing which I thought is missing is the pedagogical part. So what I decided that earlier I acted as a resource person at Amity University, Kolkata, with regard to their workshop on case development workshop, which was held in July 2020. So I thought that why not discuss something with regard to that, because in accounting and finance, especially when this is my experience, I have seen when I have discussed about case studies with students, so they are a bit jittery about it. So today what I have decided is to discuss about case studies. Now you all are experts, you all are faculty members, most of you are teaching in institutes where you yourself conduct case studies, develop case studies. So I am not in a position to teach or tell anything to you. Even I can learn from many of you. So in this situation, what I decided is let us have a discussion. And as you all know, because I am recovering at present, it is tough for me to talk continuously for 1.5 hours. So as it was suggested yesterday in the WhatsApp group, what I have decided is, let us have an interaction both orally, and I would request the participants, if possible, please switch on your videos as well, so that it becomes very much interesting for us to see each other, at least visually, virtually at least. So please switch on the videos and let us have discussion when I pose the question, not questions exactly, but ask for your opinions. And in between, we will have an opinion poll as well. So I have developed a few feedback statements, so that if you provide your feedback over there, that will be interesting for us to come to a conclusion with regard to case teaching and case development, if we may plan something like this starting from this platform. That would be my dream, to have a case book as the output of this FDP. So I need active support from experienced and what should I say, energetic faculty members like you. So with this, I am sharing the screen. So once it is visible, please let me know. Yeah, is my screen visible?
Yes, Professor, it's visible.
Now I have made the PowerPoint full screen. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, visible.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the confirmation, sir. Okay, so what I plan to discuss today is, and I want active cooperation from all of you, your experiences most importantly, and your opinions. So first is, what I want to discuss today about development and writing of teaching cases. So first and foremost, when we heard about teaching cases, can any one of you just respond, one or few of you respond, that at which stage of your career, student or teacher career, teaching career, you came across the concept of teaching cases? Can any one of you, just or a few of you, share your experiences?
In my MBA, well, I'm
Ma'am,
studying MBA.
as student at
Yes.
your MBA level? Ma'am, as a student of our
Yes,
MBA?
sir. As a student, I have seen.
Acha, at which institute, ma'am?
It's Ria School of Business Management.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else, that when you heard about teaching cases for the first time in your life?
Sir, good morning. I am Amrita from Sastra University.
Welcome,
I'm
ma'am.
basically a cost accountant.
Okay.
When we write the examinations, no, we will have one case study which will comprise of the entire syllabus. Only when you are done with the entire syllabus, you can discuss with the case studies. So in my cost accounting profession, I came across the case analysis.
Okay, at the final level, ma'am, if I'm correct?
At the intermediate level itself.
Intermediate level. Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Amudha, ma'am.
Now I am working as a faculty in School of Management, Sastra University, and we are teaching cases for our students.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you for sharing your experiences. Dr. Lakshmanan, you were saying something? Or anybody else? Any other colleague of mine?
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
I want to share my experience.
Yeah, sure.
I started case teaching probably 6-7 years back when I joined the Institute of Finance. There I started case teaching. Before that, in my academic career for last 16 years, probably 7-8 years initially, I never used to teach these cases. We used to teach the curriculum which is prescribed by the university.
Exactly.
But then we started preparing the cases gradually. We learned to, when we are more involved into research, then we started preparing the cases also, and also we started sharing cases which are written by other authors. So probably 6 to 7 years, I would say, is the time.
So 7 years. And ma'am, when you are teaching at the PG level, that is where you are taking up cases.
Exactly, at the PG level. Yeah.
Exactly. And in your student life, Shalini ma'am, have you come across cases? Cases?
Yes. During my MBA program, our faculty used to teach with us with a lot of cases at that point of time. And they also used to share their current experiences. Our professors used to share their experiences, that when they have been students, what they used to do at that point of time and how they used to inculcate into various business activities. So it was like that. Yeah.
And ma'am, which institute was that, if you may share?
It is Lal Bahadur Shastri Institute of Management Technology, Delhi, RK Puram, LBS Delhi.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Anybody else from any other part of India? Western India, Eastern India? Because we have heard from Delhi, we have heard from down south.
Good morning, Professor Mukherjee. Shiny Naik over here
Okay,
from
Shiny.
Shiksha College.
Yeah.
During when I was a student, I had heard about cases, meaning what? In my marketing classes, Professor Shazal Maiti was there. He used to take up caselets and he used to discuss in the class, but we never had full those 7 to 8 pages or maybe more. Those cases were not given to us, first of all. But
At the
later
student
on,
level.
yes, at student
Okay.
level, I was not exposed to it.
Okay.
And later on, when I came to my teaching profession, and then I started taking classes in PG level, then only I saw that the growing need of it. It was really not possible to complete the entire syllabus in the short span of time. So with the help of cases, you can cover a lot many areas and not just one discipline. You can also, or rather not just one area in commerce. We all know that in commerce we have so many different avenues, so they can be taught in one way. And that was introduced by my respected sir, Professor Arup Chaudhary, who is no longer with us. He also took classes.
Yeah, we know that. We know that.
Professor Mukherjee, you are there with me also, but still I'm learning. I'm still in the stage of learning. I really don't know, but yes, I'm looking forward to such collaborations where we can do it jointly together. And of course, I have heard from you also from a previous seminar where you have talked about it. I tried to learn from there, and I hope others will also learn from it too today.
Obviously. Thank you, Shiny. Thank you, Shiny, for sharing your feedback. Okay, so what we understand, what conclusion we can draw, I can understand is, look at our student life. If I am wrong, some of you may correct it. In our student life, those of you who have been introduced to cases in India, I'm saying, that is at the PG level. At the UG level, we were not introduced to cases at all. Am I correct? So whatever feedback, limited feedbacks from the samples I have got is that it is at the MBA level or at some other master's level that we have been introduced to cases. And even in better institutions of the country, leave alone the IIMs, because as I know, IIMA is following the Harvard model. So they are fully into cases. And I read it somewhere, I can't recall exactly where, that in IIMA, the candidate almost goes through 400 to 500 cases throughout their entire MBA program. I need to verify that, but I have read it somewhere, if I'm not wrong. So from here, what we can understand, leaving aside the top-notch B schools, other than that, at the traditional university levels, at the other institutes, case studies have been introduced, but pretty late as compared to the developed nations. Now we are taking up case study, and we can understand, we are learning gradually. We are trying to develop case studies, that Shalini ma'am said, or as some of you other respected faculty members have opined. Now the question for me is, for us in accounting and finance, when we come across cases, we can come across cases of general management, principles of management. We can come across cases of entrepreneurship quite easily. We can come across cases of the different aspects of finance as well, like capital structure and all these. Now the question is with regard to our another area, that is accounting. Do we come across cases? Not the cases, the 5-page, 7-page, 10-page cases. We do not usually come across those. But can I say that the typical the things that we called illustrations or problems or questions of a typical accounting course, that those are nothing but small caselets? How many of you will accept that? That in accounting, the thing that we called, okay, ma'am.
Sir, 1 minute. When I was teaching cost accounting to the MBA students, we try to discuss cases and the decision makings and areas of break-even analysis.
Exactly,
and we'll have the throughput analysis, activity-based costing.
Exactly,
and, so we will have the cases along with the numerical calculations.
Exactly.
So still,
and at the final level, ma'am,
accounting also.
Exactly, ma'am. As you were saying, that at the final level, the questions that we were facing, the decision making using marginal costing, or say with regard to relevant costing, those were actually cases. The 1.5 page questions which used to come at the finals, which do come at the finals or at professional courses, even at master's level in many universities in strategic cost management courses, question paper, or say in accounting question paper to some extent. It is that we do not call them case studies. When I send materials or these questions to my students, I have seen my colleagues in different institutes calling these problems. Now, honestly, I do not like that word problem. The word problem has a negative connotation for me. So
Yes, sir.
first and foremost, do you accept that, ma'am?
Sir, even we can apply this over techniques and costing. As you said, strategic cost management. We can apply all the operation research techniques and cost accounting. And we can
Exactly.
do the cases, but as you said, we can call it as cases instead of taking it as numerical problems.
Problems, exactly, ma'am. That is what I communicate to my students. And that is what I want. We all should unanimously think that yes, we should be confident. Yes, at UG level also we teach cases. When at UG level somebody is discussed about a finalization problem, which is typically in, if I may say, in colloquial term is referred to as single entry, which is not single entry. Say that is the finalization of accounts from incomplete records. All those are actually numerical cases. And we must present this, or in behavioral finance term, I will say, we must frame this in front of the students, in front of the candidates as numerical cases. Participants, dear participants, do you accept this? Can we just
Yes,
change our mindset? And when
yes,
we
sir.
enter the class, can we say that tomorrow we will do a case study, so that it percolates to the students, it percolates to the masses, that yes, in our college, in our school, even at +2 level, or in the colleges at UG level, it is that the accounting teacher is teaching me cases. Do you accept that? If can
Yes,
we think on that line? Or
Yes,
yes, sir.
very true. It is indeed what you are saying is that's it should go. That's like it should go. Because what is happening, just there is no verbatim around it. That's why it is not. It cannot be termed as a case, or there is no you can say dramatization or situation which is created in terms of words around it. That is just
exactly.
not there. Except everything is there. So
Exactly. So, sir, can we take it up as a responsibility, this group of
yeah, for sure.
like-minded, this,
Yeah,
so that
for
we
sure.
can add
For sure.
dramatization and we can develop and call that, yes, at UG level also, in our colleges, in our universities, in our institutes, we are dealing with case studies. We have the skeleton, we need to put in some fat and some muscles
Yeah.
here and there.
Yeah. Dr. Mukherjee, you might also be doing it in your classes. I feel so because
Yeah.
whenever we discuss such kind of financial accounting problem or management accounting problem, or say for example any such numerical oriented subject, if we are dealing, we just tell to students that if I put a situation around it, that these are the key people who are involved into it, and these are the finite or possible solutions which looks out of it. So that makes it a whole log case. Means
Exactly.
what we are doing it due to lack of time or whatever, we are giving you a crux out of it, and on the basis of that you are supposed to make it call whether to
Exactly.
buy, whether to sell, whether to divest or diversify. So
Exactly.
it's on the almost the concept which you are trying to lay down over is it's the same.
Exactly. So the material is there, the skeleton is there. What we ask, calculate the following: number one, break-even point; number two, how many units must be sold, and just we
Yeah,
give the figure: sale price per unit is so much, variable cost per unit is so much, fixed cost for the period is so much. That's it. Instead
for
of
sure.
adding it in in a story-like format.
Right.
So I
Well
am
said.
feeling that this is my feeling that we do teach. We
And when we
teach
talk
this.
about, I'm so sorry
Yeah.
to interrupt in between, but when we
No,
talk
please.
about, the global level, when we talk about ACCA, it's a global level accountancy course. There, every paper has a case study to
Case
it.
study.
In
Exactly.
Chitkara Business School, Chitkara University, we prefer the students, even of the BCom level, we prefer
Okay.
them giving case studies pertaining to costs
Wonderful.
and this cost management techniques, as said by Dr. Amudha, right, like Kaizen costing, ABC analysis, activity-based analysis. These all we prefer giving the students case studies, and it's a very good platform where we can develop the case studies to promote the education at a global level, because globally already ACCA is following this pattern. Only we are
Exactly.
lacking behind.
Exactly, ma'am. That is what I wanted to. When I got this opportunity, I wanted to get this feedback from all of you. Thank you, Gurpreet ma'am, for taking up that issue of SCCA. I am associated with SCCA as an expert for their work. Okay, can we hear Professor Arnab Sen from Techno India Institute of Management, Salt Lake?
Yeah, good morning, everyone present here, and my sincere salute to you, Dr. Mukherjee, for the kind of responsibility that you have taken on your shoulder in spite of your ill health. I just wanted to add one point to this. I started my career. Shahini ma'am was talking about Arup Chaudhary. So was my colleague, so was my teacher. So my sincere regards and respect to him. I started my career with ICFI, and what I learned there was something very fundamental, that it is not always about the numerical part of the case. Newspaper throw us a lot of examples, throw us a lot of instances, which may be very qualitative in approach, but when you discuss this from the perspective of, say, break even, or it may be from the perspective of investment decision, whatever be it, when you take them, say for example, LIC IPO is coming up. So how do we look into this? Even when we discuss this at length in class, taking every pros and con possible, and then you match this with the future happenings of the LIC IPO, I think that will also go in a great learning for the students, as well as development for us also, that we also tend to learn. So, for example, I remember when Geo came into picture, all of a sudden changed the entire telephony landscape. But that was a time when people were taken by a shock, that how come one company come into the picture. Of course, Mukesh Ambani has a fat pocket, so he could throw in a lot of money to the market, and we can see the newspaper today itself that he has paid the spectrum dues, which other companies are still finding for moratorium. So the point is that also when Mukesh Ambani stated that it has become a net debt-free company. So let us look into this from the accounting principles, since we were talking. But there is a confusion even into this, that whether the company has actually become net debt-free company or not. So a lot of qualitative aspect can also come to class, which can further enhance the understanding of the students. And in addition to this, the sums that we do in the class, if we add a bit of a literary skills of ours, and we can frame it to 1.5 page, that comes out as a great case for the students. However,
Professor Sen, can you just throw some light on by differentiating between the pedagogy for UG students and pedagogy for PG students, that we can frame something in mind as you are explaining?
Of course, there are many experts over here, very senior experts over there. And but the way I have been doing it, though my association with the undergraduate level has been very low, but on a few occasions which I have worked for undergraduate students, the problem with undergraduate student is that, I don't know for the other parts of the country, but at least in the eastern part of the country, you need to give a bit of a hand holding to them initially. Suppose you really cannot get straight and jump into Apex Fair and explain them marginal costing.
Exactly.
Right. So you need to make them understand that what marginal costing is all about, and then you can take up the case of British Airways 146 and 147, which runs from Calcutta to Heathrow, and how the pricing mechanism of this particular plane was actually changed, and marginal costing came into picture. So how we do about this is that we give the case to student at least 5 days in advance, and the faculty members in my institute at Techno India, Dr. Purushottam Sen is the director of ours, who is absent today on his on health grounds. He is a fantastic person for that reason. Now, what we do is we give them the keys at least 5 days in advance, and we faculty members also prepare about it. And then what we do is we ask the students we divide students into groups, so that they can come up with the PowerPoint presentation and explain it what they think. So initially what we do about is that we never say any student you are right or you are wrong. We encourage them to speak out. And finally, in a case, as all of us, we would agree that there is nothing called a perfectly correct solution or a perfectly wrong solution there. So finally, we come out with a probable best or the optimal solution that we can forward to. Now, here the point is that we find that many times students are, some of the students are very, very, very energetic. They come out with the good solutions. Of course, I have seen the dark side of it in the PG courses. Students pay and get the case solution, right? Because PG students also have access to good amount of money for that reason. I don't know from where, but they are, in our times, I had to work only with 300 rupees per month. My father never gave me a single penny more than that. So they have a lot of money, and they buy case solutions and they present it. So when you see those solutions, you can of course understand that it's actually a bought out case and they are doing it from there. But our target remains very simple. We ask students to understand the very basic, that you understand from where the problem actually crops and how you plan to solve this out, and what possible dimensions can be added to the case, and sometimes in our department we use collaborative cases, a case which would require people from production, marketing, HR, finance together, and those are mega cases that we do in our institute. And we try to jam in.
Usually at the later stages of the.
Yes, of course, at the fourth semester. We normally do it at the fourth semester.
Exactly.
Once a person have a bit of understanding. I agree, as you said, Dr. Mukherjee, that yes, I agree that, as you said, that Dr. Mukherjee, as you said, that in IIM Ahmedabad they do a lot with cases. But all said and done, I believe there is a certain limitations. I don't know for the other institutes, but I believe for majority of the institutes I have seen across India, the fundamental problem is when it comes to the world of finance and economics and accounting. In marketing, you can have a case of Baskin Robbins, people can visualize. You can have a case of Maruti, people can visualize. But in finance, I was working for Punjab National Bank last year, and there is a mammoth amount of data available with me. So I'm trying to develop a case on it. But then what happens? I cannot say this is Punjab National Bank. I cannot say this data belongs to this particular branch. I cannot say this particular X is actually Mr. X and Mr. Y. So a lot of fabrication comes into picture, and a student fails to connect with the real world. That is where a big problem is. The connection of the academia with the industry is seriously lacking when it comes to development of cases of accounts.
Because finance is a very sensitive issue.
Yeah,
exactly.
But of course, when you go to European countries, when you go to America, you don't find this problem there.
Okay. You have identified. Thank you, Dr. Sen, for identifying an interesting area where the challenge lies. Just to add to you, if you don't mind, that I always prefer to use the word challenge than a problem. Because I take mentally, I take it up like this. When I think about a problem, something hits me like a negative. So I prefer something. Okay, it's a nice challenge.
Very true. Very true.
Identified. So definitely we can think and we can work on this. Dr. Amut, you have raised your hand. Please go ahead.
Sir, I have one small point to say. In my three decades of service, I could understand that UG people cannot go in for the application-oriented cases. Yeah. And we can have the very basic knowledge level cases, small cases to understand the very basic knowledges for the UG students. And for the PG students, we can go for the application-oriented cases.
So, ma'am, if I ask you,
I can feel
should we, a group of faculty members, say like-minded people who have accumulated over here, should we think of developing small cases for UG? What is your opinion, Namudha ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Very nice, sir.
We are ready. I am also ready to join.
So let us.
I will plan have small fundamental cases, basic knowledge cases for the UG people to understand the basic concepts and various techniques of accounting, costing, and
this is an academic gap which I have personally felt. Because for the advanced students, for the better students, for the 95 percentile pluses, there are cases. The Harvard cases, the Ivy League cases, those are there. But what for the masses? They don't have. So this is something, and because in India we have a huge number of this, and I guess this is something which can make commerce and business education popular in different parts of the country. Because as I understand, as I get the feedback from my friends and colleagues in different parts of the country, that the demand for commerce and business education is different in different parts. And I have a feeling that this is my personal feeling. I would like to know your opinion that in India, the term commerce, I guess in everywhere across India, BCom and MCom is still in vogue. If some of you can respond.
Yes, sir.
Every state, it is BCom, MCom, and now BBA, MBA, BMS.
We do have BCom and MCom programs in our university.
Ma'am, which state?
We are Shastra University, Tanjavur, Tamil Nadu state.
Tamil Nadu. So at Tamil Nadu and Karnataka, in Madhya Pradesh, in Punjab, in UP, in Delhi, in Bengal, in Odisha, in Assam, everywhere, Gujarat, everywhere we have what? BCom and MCom. But this is my personal opinion. Please add to it that this was created by the British for creating clerks for them who can work on their trading this. But now, after 75 long years after independence, I always tell my students that you think and raise questions to me in the capacity of a manager, in the capacity of an entrepreneur. That is what our country now wants. So more than BCom, I wish it is now what we want is B of any specialization, bachelor's of accounting. It can be a BSc in accounting. It can be a BSc in taxation. It can be a BSc in cost and management accounting.
Yes,
So
sorry to
which
interrupt. In our
yes,
Shastra University, we have dual specialization, BCom with the computer application,
ma'am, I have
BCom with the
seen in your
banking,
website.
financial services,
I have
BFSI is
seen
there.
exactly.
We have dual specialization BCom also here.
Exactly. And as Professor Ananda Mohan Pal was saying, that accounting standard itself is Pacific Ocean and a Mariana Trench depth thing. So basically, we need to now, as faculty members, we need to think together and make this thing more job friendly or more industry friendly. Because what I tell my students is, okay, you do a job for some years, but at the end of the day, you should be not a job seeker throughout your life, but a job provider. That is what India wants. That is what our Make in India program and every other thing is. The governance of the country is encouraging that. So with this background, I guess cases are a very, very vital thing to make them interesting right from the college level. And ma'am and sirs, if I may say, I have seen that at CBSE level or ISC level, they are introducing cases, but in my own university or other universities, I find that suddenly there is a drop of this touch at the college level. But again, these things are picking up at the master's level. So my intention is to bridge up this gap so that the commerce education, the students who are getting introduced to this at +2 level, gets a slow but steady gradient to move up the ladder, intellectual ladder, I'm saying. So please opine with, I need your opinions with regard to that. That for UG and then for PG. And one more point which I would like to discuss with you all is, this is something which I felt when I picked up a Philip Kotler for the first time or a Robbins for the first time in my life during my master's days. What happened? Those were the examples at that point of time in the pre-internet era, or when internet was just coming, but uh, smartphones were not there, or every MNC was not there in every corner of the city. Okay, Baskin Robbins were there in only one place in Kolkata, in Elgin Road. Okay, they were not in every corner, in every locality. So these are the challenges. When I felt a challenge that when I opened such a book, a case study given over there, I couldn't connect. I feel a, a major portion of country, of the talent of the country being there in the suburban areas or in the rural areas, if I may use the term, we need to develop Indianized example cases more than just blankly relying on Harvard. A person staying in the metro cities or in a Hyderabad or in a Secunderabad or in a Bangalore or in Ahmedabad or in Gurgaon can connect to those cases. But somebody in Moradabad, somebody in, say, Gorakhpur, or even a suburb of Gorakhpur, it might be challenging. Or in Northeast India, it might be challenging for, internet is providing them a big platform. The Amazon Primes, the Netflixes, they are giving them fantastic opportunity. But in addition to that, everybody can't afford that. So this is my opinion. Anybody, Dr. Sen, you are raising your hand. Please go ahead.
Dr. Mukherjee, as you said, that when people fail to visualize from small cities, I myself, I come from a very small town of Bihar, Darbhanga district, born, brought up, and educated there. Now, by the grace of God, I got an opportunity there to handle a case study workshop at the Mithila University there. And very interestingly, this is exactly what you stated. When I was there in my hometown and I was speaking to the students of PG level, and I gave them case of Baskin Robbins, majority of them, they never knew what the company is doing.
Exactly.
So I had to first explain them what the company is all about, and then probably they could understand that how the things can move on. Second, since we were talking about development of cases at the undergraduate level, I think this is what the new education policy is also trying to hint. Development of the critical thinking abilities of student. Now,
Indianized thinking.
Yes,
Indian
development of
thinking,
that
exactly.
Indianized thinking, and that critical thinking ability need to be developed. And as you very correctly said, that we need to shift our focus from these European cases and all to the Indian cases. In fact, in Harvard, Indian business becomes a specialization, and we still follow the cases of European countries and other places. Nothing bad in that.
but we should develop more and more of Indian cases. I think India is full of opportunities we can develop. So the collaboration definitely can be taken in this
So
direction.
we can call that local cases, as the term
Yes,
local
of
is
course,
used.
globally local. Yes, very
Yeah,
true, very true.
yeah. Thank you for your opinion. Acha, can we have a few polls in between? Can I ask our Shubhajit Bagh, computer expert, to just share a few the polls? Yeah. In the meantime, anybody who wants to add?
Dr. Mukherjee,
Morning, sir.
yeah, Mr. Jairaj, you can continue. I'll take later on.
Okay, Jairaj sir,
So,
please go ahead.
Mukherjee sir, good morning. Nice to meet
Good
you all.
morning.
How is your health now? Is it okay?
Yeah. Mentally it is fine. Physically it is creating
Yes.
some problem.
I pray the God.
Thank you.
Very soon you will get. Okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
So in my 17 years of teaching experience, nearly 14 years I've been working in abroad, Jakarta, Indonesia, and Stanford University Partnership Program in China. When I was in Jakarta, I taught junior college level, the business studies and accounting. When we look at the learning outcomes before start any session, one of the learning outcomes, the foreign universities clearly mention the case studies. So we could able to see clearly the third learning outcomes in any foreign universities, particularly accounting and auditing and fraud risk management. We could able to see clearly the case studies part. So in my suggestion, in my personal experience, what I had until now, the case study, if we taught or if you teach case study related problems to our students could be able to develop their decision making skill. What is going on? What is happening in the company, particularly in particular period? This is my knowledge. In this way, I am presenting my views. Case study is very, very important to our Indian students. Then only they could develop their decision making skill. Decision making skill not only for the study, it is very important to their practical life after graduation or post graduation, like that. So in that way, the case study is very important or useful to our study curriculum. I am not looking into our new education policy. So I am not go through it. If I go through it, I will explain in brief in the forthcoming platforms, FDP. Thank you, sir.
Sure. Thank you, Jairaj sir. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
Dipesh sir, as you were proceeding.
I was just trying to connect somewhere with the lines that this originally this whole system was there into our traditional teachings as well, like storytelling and bringing the situation or creating the
Exactly.
situation around and asking the disciples or the students to come up with the optimal solution or the what you will be doing or how you will be doing, or when we were early in our studies we used to see these statements in our notebooks that do it yourself, explain by doing how you will be doing. So more or less these things were there, and I don't know what cut theory has been applied, and I think the in the quest of summarizing everything or bringing the things to the shorter length, we have avoided this story creation around the situations or story creation around the problems, and we just focused on data and just minimize the size of the books and the text. So I think this has led to a lot of mess around. and the art has art or craft, whatever you will say, that has been lost somewhere.
If I may interfere in between, so basically what you are
Yeah.
saying is that the problem we have been now for the last couple of decades, we are focusing on vertical thinking rather than horizontal thinking. So this change is needed.
Well said. Well said. Well said.
So that is what you are saying, sir. If that is what I understand from your opinion. So we need to change this to some extent. Sir, in this regard, with regard to this point, horizontal thinking and vertical thinking, can we have some, what is your opinion of the valued participants that with regard to subjects or the courses like accounting, financial, cost or management, whatever, the caselets, the numerical caselets that we discuss, they have not subjective but objective answers, a specific answer. So how to handle this? Because that is very important for us to decide the development of future cases. So this is open to the house. And in the meantime, our computer team, they are sharing the polls. Please respond. Dear participants, please respond to the polls. We can discuss them sometime later. And this is my question, that what to do with regard to typical, because as we have seen that at BCom or BBA level, the students have a more, this is our culture, country's culture, that accountancy is the most important subject, tax, cost, okay, entrepreneurship development or papers like say principles of management, business ethics, we can study them later on. Okay, वो तो theory है, ये practical है. They don't understand that ethics is so very practical and ED is so very practical. That is actual real world thing, but they look at it from questions viewpoint. The questions which require theoretical answers and questions which require numerical solutions. So here the numerical solutions things have objective solutions, one specific correct answer. So how to address that through case studies? It's open to the house. Dipesh sir or others.
Dr. Mukherjee, this is evident. This also comes on the surface when we ask the students how many books do you read apart from your textbooks. So means the point where I am trying to draw out your attention is we means collectively students and teachers have dropped the tendency of going deep into the text, right? When it comes to a theoretical description, we just want to have a crux out of it and just lay it down in front of anybody. Means I'm not blaming students or teachers only.
No.
I'm talking as a society as a whole. So as long as the society is not having the tendency to go towards books, to go towards text, this issue is going to go on. Means again I'm coming on to the same point. We are very much fond of summarization, and we are very much fond of looking at the summaries or the text in the shorter form. So that's how the things are creeping. It means we can bring it to the habits of the students by letting them to go through the text, or giving them more and more case oriented questions, or drafting situations around the numbers or numericals. So that will create a sort of interest as well, and will somewhere draw their attention towards writing descriptive answers. And if we judge them on the basis of descriptive answers in a judicious way, definitely they are going to have an interest towards that. Because the world cannot be bifurcated on the basis of yes and no, or right and wrong. So So it means the development of the situation, discussing the situation, these things need to be there.
Others with regard to your opinion on this, as Professor Dipesh said or briefed it, others whom we have not heard, Vinay Kumar Dawarji, Vikas Garg, I can see the names, Sri Devi Tanuku, please, we have not heard from you, sirs and madams. Shayan Basu, Priyojit Ghosh, Prakash Paise, please go ahead.
Definitely, we would like to hear from the people who are especially from the down south, because this gives us, means specifically to the North Indians, the glimpse of the thinking, or the kind of you can say bedrock of thinking what people at down south are having.
And what I feel is, say for example, we know Kanpur is a place, is a hub of leather products. So we needed people from there, people, I mean the esteemed faculty members from there, to develop case studies with regard to those kind of businesses. Say for Mahabalipuram or a place near Chennai, where rock art is a fantastic thing, a business, popular business going on there. We need more of those kind of cases. Because when in Nat Geo, National Geographic or History Channel, when I watch mega factories, I see over there they're discussing about chocolate dips and all these things, which majority part of our country cannot connect. Those are factory visits and all these things. We need, this is what my hunger is, to give to the society, in addition to the research, those things which were discussed yesterday. Those are high level things. Those are a requirement of, that is one requirement. The other requirement which I feel personally, which our generation should contribute, so that the next generation becomes at par. It may be 30, 40 years down the line, but we should start something like this from here. When we are getting opportunities to interact using technology, this is something which we can do.
Very sure. Very sure.
And at the same time, Northeast, there are so many wonderful businesses over there, mushroom cultivation, bamboo cultivation. So why not get the stories from there, and the human resources over there, the intellectual resources of the people over there be utilized? So Rajasthan is a hub of tourism activities. So cases on tourism, and through that, if we teach them, say marginal costing or financial accounting, we hardly find hotel related financial statements. We give क्लास 11 से हम लोग सुन रहे हैं फाइनल अकाउंट्स करो, फाइनल अकाउंट्स करो, फाइनल अकाउंट्स करो, और वो ट्रेडर ही होना है. It cannot be a hotelier. Why not a hotelier?
Yes, the things or the concepts which are moving the economy, maybe local economy or a particular region. Say for example, some place is driven by some places economy is driven by some religious things or religious
exactly हो सकता है, because everything is in a revenue model. एक टेम्पल, एक मॉस्क, एक गुरुद्वारा, हर के बाहर, इवन अ गुरुद्वारा लंगर सिस्टम में जो खर्चा हो रहा है, that can be utilized as a case study. Look how the donation is coming and how that is utilized. So that will make people more interesting, I guess, because we Indians love traveling. If travel and teaching, this thing goes hand in hand. So that is my opinion. Dipesh sir, in the meantime, Shalini Srivastava ma'am has raised her hand. Shalini, please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Very well said. I just want to add to your point that we should have case studies which are related to our own life or which are related to our surroundings. Very well said. Like the example of Gurudwara, that people go there. Example of things which are businesses which we and our family members are doing, or which we have seen, growing, which we have actually grown up seeing some kind of activities. We should be able to relate and connect them to those. More fancy case studies are actually what happening, which are there in the books, we are not able to connect to them. Exactly. And the second point is that when we as faculty members are not very able to connect to them, we cannot connect the same with the students. So that connection is missing, which I feel, because we teach the case studies because it is a part of our curriculum and we have to do it. But it will become more interesting and more interactive if something comes out from our own surroundings or from the way we have grown up with. That is what,
as you said, that we follow the curriculum. What I feel is most of us are, I call myself that till one point of time, I was an academic clerk who did just what the boss said. Now I have in the process of transforming myself to an academic entrepreneur.
Right.
Sir, I want to add something.
Very well said.
Mahesh sir, please let Shalini ma'am complete, then I'm coming to it. Yeah.
Right, sir. I just wanted to add this only. Mahesh sir, can please continue. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Ma'am, this is where I need people like you, experienced people like you, Amudha sir, Dipesh sir, Jairaj sir, everybody. Said that we are coming from different parts of the country. We must plug our interests. Say, for example, yesterday, if I watch an IPL match, why not create a finance case study out of that? Okay, I bought a ticket, I went over there, what are the costs? Or if I talk to the food stall guy over there, collect some information from him. Instead of just doing a structural equation modeling out of that, why not think in the line of doing something for my students in addition to my publication?
Right.
Sir, I want to add something. So basically what we will do in our institute or in our university or in our institute, I will say specifically,
Sir, can you first please introduce your
Yeah,
institute?
yeah. This is Professor Mahesh Mankar. I'm done my MBA Finance and I did my graduation in BCom. And my institute name is Yashasvi Education Societies International Institute of Management Science, Chinchwad, Pune. It is in Maharashtra, sir. Yes. Yeah. And what we will do in when the students comes to our institute for as a new admission they have taken in our institute, and we have some orientation session for that. In the orientation session, we will give them small. We are giving them small caselets, just a half paragraph or half page caselet, two paragraph, three paragraph cases, which are live, and they will think on that. They will analyze the case and they will take decisions. And we have a habit of presenting that case in front of all, what their views are there about the case. Like simple example, can we go with
Sir, I
the
just ask one thing. These cases are general management cases or accounting and
general management cases, some sort of accounting cases, like can we go with the make or buy decision cases? All of you heard of make or buy decision cases we will give. The student will think of that which will be beneficial for them as a societal point of view, as a financial point of view. They will think on that. Different angles, the students come with different angles. It's also good and they will all they are aware about that. We have to take a decisions. Anyhow, we want to go anywhere, we have to take a decision. We want to go to Kolkata, we have to take a decision to how we can go with the air or with the railways or with the seaways. The decision we have. We will tell the students first. We write or not, we will discuss it further. First, we take a decision. Analyze the case. What is there in the case? This habit we have studied in our institute, or we are giving a small cases like one paragraph or two paragraph cases for initial stage for that. That we are doing, sir. It's a good habit for we are following that.
Okay. Sir, thank you to know from your experience that in Maharashtra, you are in your institute, you are introducing this at the orientation level in those 5-7 days orientation which we usually take over there. Am I correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, sir, if I may ask that, say at MBA or even at BBA or BCom level, students from science specialization coming, because at MBA students, a sociology girl doing an MBA or a mathematics guy doing an MBA, at that level, how do you address that issue?
Yeah, how we will address that? We will firstly thoroughly we are giving them case and we are thoroughly explaining what is there in the case. They will understand. Basically, just a small case. We are not doing a 2 pages or 3 pages or 8 pages case. Just a small case for digest. Like many students come from one of your background, or they have problem in the communication, or they will come from different streams for MBA course. We will do a small case first for them. It is easy for them to understand. Any graduates, any stream he comes.
Okay.
That we are doing, sir.
Okay, I will request you to share this in our group so that we can add and develop to this.
Yes, sir, yes, sir, definitely. Yes, sir, yes.
We must come together, and as we are finding it as a practical issue, so let us take up this challenge.
Yes, sir, yes. Yes, sir, yes, sir, definitely, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mahesh.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Dr. Navleen Kaur. Dr. Kaur, you can just proceed with your opinion.
Hi, good morning, everyone. First of all, my congratulations to Dr. Abhik for such a wonderful faculty development program. I have been a very good listener to all your sessions, but it is really a commendable task that you're doing.
Thank you.
Now, I am Dr. Navleen Kaur, a professor accounting and finance in Amity International Business School, Amity University, Noida.
Okay.
And my area of specialization is corporate restructuring, mergers and acquisitions.
Okay.
So basically the kind of cases which we cover in the classes, and all the classes are case study oriented. It is not like in 1 or 2 classes we are covering. All the classes we try to teach through case studies.
Okay.
Now in mergers and acquisitions, for example, cases like Tata, Jaguar, Land Rover, then cases like Hutchison, SR, all the major mergers and acquisitions that we cover.
Okay.
Then apart from it, we have written certain cases and which we discussed. For example, case study on Franklin Templeton fiasco that we have. Then case study about your Grow First. Its determination to excel. Now Grow First to Blinkit. Then case studies on your mega bank mergers that took place in India.
Exactly. These 3-4 banks coming together under one nationalized bank.
Yeah, absolutely. Then why COVID-19 lockdown made investors so enthusiastic about Mukesh Ambani's Reliance Jio? Right. So basically, what we do specifically for PG students, that all the classes we try to cover through case studies.
Okay.
Right. So
And
I
ma'am,
think, for
as I
example,
know that Amity has a very strong case center amongst India.
yeah, it has a
is
very
one of
strong case center.
Yeah, I have come across that, even though I have not directly been in connection with that. I would love to, but I have come across that Amity has a very strong case center. So do you develop the cases on your own, or the cases are developed by the case center?
No, it is both ways. We develop the cases on our own, and then we publish those case studies in the case center.
Okay.
Right. And then we can take our cases that we develop. And apart from it, the faculty members who have developed the case studies and whatever we like among it, we share it with our students.
Okay.
So this is how we do. And I think it is a very it is a wonderful approach if we teach the students through case studies, or probably since the online classes they are going on. So our idea is always to probably bring something extra to them, extra in the sense, let us say for the time being in the class you're teaching through a case study, then probably in the middle of the class you have to introduce let us say a small quiz, or in the middle of a class you're taking a particular poll. So the basic idea is that everybody should be very, very interactive in the class. It should not be like, since it is an online mode and as a result of it the students their interest goes. So it is like this out here.
Okay.
Thank
Yeah,
you so much.
I understand this, Dr. Kaur, because again, I would say that, yeah, we in the metro cities, Noida is after all a part of NCR. So over there, the students can easily connect. Gwalior, Jaipur, students can connect. But now what my intention is also to think about this in other parts of the country as well, the not so metro cities. I can see a raising hand by Sridevi, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Yeah. Ma'am,
First
before
of
that,
all,
one second, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Other participants, please, in the meantime, please respond to the polls which are there. We can understand this and discuss it in the last 5-10 minutes, the polls and what we understand from your valued opinions. Sorry, Sridevi, ma'am. Please go ahead.
Sir, it's okay, sir.
Yeah.
I'm Sridevi. I'm from Bhubaneswar, sir. I'm currently working in Bharati Vidya Bhavan Bhubaneswar Kendra.
Okay, ma'am.
And we offer PGDM course.
Okay.
So I was just listening to the conversation, and I just want to share few practices that we follow here, so that we can bring all the students into the same stream. And I myself have got few ideas from the discussion also. So
this is what my intention was, ma'am, that I'm very happy from within that this is contributing to all of us.
Yes, sir. It was really so nice of you. Despite your ill health, you are taking up so much of efforts. First of all,
No,
congratulations for that, sir.
Ma'am, as I said, I want to be an academic entrepreneur, not only by starting a school or a university, but like this in the mental frame, by getting all of you beside me. Yes, ma'am, please go ahead and share your experience in your institute.
Yes, sir. Like we have students, like average students who are coming from remote places and all like that. So what you are rightly saying, making them understand the concepts, making them understand the concept of case study, and when we put forward international cases before them, they will be in a state of confusion. So for the past 5 years, what we have started was, we started the before commencement of the classes, we give them 2 months orientation, sir.
Okay.
So before the commencement of the course, 2 months orientation regarding the basics in your common papers like mathematics or accounting, or your communication skills, developing the right type of personality, giving them what actually this management education is and all that. Because in PGDM or in MBA courses, we have students from different streams.
Exactly.
So that they can come
that
to
is
the common
fun as well as the challenge of a MBA program.
Yes, sir. So that we can bring them to the same platform and all that. So we just give them the basic idea and small snap survey type we organize for them.
So basically, the
That is,
terminologies and the concepts are made clear, ma'am, to them. Say in
yes, sir.
accounting, so what is a capital revenue transactions? What
Yes,
are
yes.
those are made clear? Am I correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The basic of accounting, sir, up to you can say trial balance and all that. What are the
Okay.
basic fundamental things that you need to look into, the terminology, what
Exactly.
are the usual practices that are followed in the industry? Like a corporate outlook is given to them, sir.
Understand.
Corporate
Understand.
approach is given to them
Hmm.
so that they can come onto the same platform.
Hmm.
And even in accounting also, because I teach accounting and finance, so in accounting also, when we teach them about the analysis or anything, we ask them to, because every information is available on the internet now, sir. So we ask them to look into the financial statements of the companies, analyze them, make presentations, and give them suggestions how they can, or make them forecast the future financial statements. Later on, they can make a comparison how their forecast is there and how actually the performance is there, so that they can connect to the reality of the world. This is what we are following, and few practices what they have started. And I also face difficulty when I teach costing and all that. I see how where we can develop the cases. But now
Exactly.
when I heard to Madam and Sir, I got few ideas how we can introduce new cases in the area of costing and all that.
Exactly, Sridevi ma'am, what I was thinking, say for example, you are coming from Bhubaneswar, Orissa.
Yes,
Whenever
yes, sir.
I think of Orissa, the handicrafts, the fantastic peoply handwork, that comes to my
Yes,
mind.
sir.
Say
Yes,
for
sir.
example, I have visited with my students in an industrial visit. We went to Orissa last year. I visited that heritage village with regard to that scroll
Pickling.
painting and everything.
Raghunathpur, sir.
Raghurajpur, exactly. So why not develop cases with regard to these things? So from every part of India, we need these kind of things which will combine culture with accounting. We all love culture. We are proud of our culture. We watch these programs. We travel to different places. So this is what my suggestion to you esteemed colleagues are. So what do you think? Will that be fruitful for us? What is your opinion? If we
Yes,
can
sir.
develop something
Already
like this,
there are already research works that have been done in these areas, sir, like the lifestyle of the handy workers,
yes, ma'am.
or
So it
where
has been there till the
how it
PhD
has
research
empowered them.
or the projects. It has been
Yes,
there till
yes,
the projects. Why not we come back one step behind for our UG and PG students?
yes, yes, sir.
So that we can discuss this in the class. So
Yes, yes,
just
sir.
we have say a vineyard case study in a Harvard case study book. Why not a Raghurajpur case study, that how a statue is being developed or a painting is being developed? Say, for example, those of you who are aware about Kolkata, in Kolkata, Durga Puja is a very big occasion. It has received World Heritage status. And at the same time, if any one of you come to Kolkata, personally, I would love to take you to a place called Kumar, which is in North Kolkata, which is the hub of the preparation of these clay models of goddess Durga and whatnot. And there have been IIM projects on supply chain management at Kumartuli, that how this Durga Puja idols, thousands and thousands of idols, if not in lakhs, are made every year. And Durga Puja is now rightly described in management world as the biggest street art festival in the world. It's there for 5 days. After that, within the next 2 days, all the statues are immersed in the Ganges. But this involves business, huge business. So cases involving this, say for example, from Kolkata, Shiny, Orno, me, Oyon, we take the responsibility of developing cases on this. Sridevi ma'am, as you were saying, why not using this? So we can say that World Heritage case studies.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Using
Here in Orissa, sir, not only the Pipli work, even temples are also famous. Puri
Fantastic,
Jagannath
ma'am, I
temple,
love it.
everybody is very famous. And also, sir, Rasgulla, if you see, no, sir,
Exactly.
just on the side of the highway, sir, you can see
Exactly.
hundreds of shops are there, sir. And they
Ma'am,
do
just watch
roaring
the TV
business.
channels, the infotainment channels, they are talking about street food. That day I
Yes,
was
sir.
watching a program, Raja Rasoiya and Anya Kahaniya. They were talking about, I was watching about Kochi, I was watching about Delhi, Lucknow, Hyderabad, whatnot. But those street foods are business. And let me share on a lighter note something. I had a complaint from my students that, sir, आपका class करने के बाद खर्चा हो जाता है. One lady student told me once from when I was teaching at Shikshayatan College in Kolkata, in costing class, because I used to give them examples to explain overheads, to give them examples of a restaurant, of a say fast food joint, and of a 5-star hotel. That why a plate of biryani at Taj Bengal at that point of time used to cost around 850. At Aminia, which is one of the premier biryani outlets here, it used to cost say 180. And why at a footpath food stall it is around 60. A plate of chicken biryani or a mutton biryani. So using that, I used to discuss these things. Now I want us as a team of like-minded people to just come together and give them a physical shape. Because as we know, one of the 7 P's of service marketing is
Pricing.
The physical evidence. So we have these things, we have been doing these things, taking up these challenges in the class. Now I guess we can give a physical evidence to it. And I'm getting a lot of confidence from whatever you are sharing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Even I got confidence from the discussion that yes, we can do a lot of things in this area.
And let us remain connected to WhatsApp. We will create a separate WhatsApp group of like-minded people and proceed. Okay, Dr. Rangarajan.
We can share with each other, sir.
Sure, ma'am, sure. And we must do this wholeheartedly. Yeah,
Thank
Dr.
you, sir.
Rangarajan.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
How are you, sir?
Thank you for your suggestion. We are following your suggestion, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yesterday I said, but due to some official work, I did join delayedly.
It's
okay, sir. Your work is very commendable and doing better. I would like to share that I am from Shastra University and we are 5 people attending this ATAL workshop.
I know, sir. Sir, I have visited your website even. I have done my homework. I loved your institute.
Thank you,
and
sir.
Would love
Thank
to
you.
Visit it one day, definitely.
But this is situated in a rural place, and our team members have been doing number of activities, and also making the students to learn the team activity as well as the case studies. Regarding the case studies, our courses consist of lectures augmented by case studies that will improve students' analytical, problem-solving, and decision-making abilities. As we are getting the students from very deep rural areas as well as some of the students from urban area, and this allows the students to engage in hands-on learning as they deal with the real-world business situation, as well as to apply what they have learned in class and improve their business acumen. But regarding your saying that the culture and heritage, we have 3 popular and familiarized cultural heritages here, like Tanjore doll.
Oh, Tanjore is awesome, sir. I'm a big fan of the Brihadeshwara temple and I've read about Raja a lot. As I said, that I am a history buff.
Absolutely. And also brass lamp making at Kumbakonam, nearby Tanjavur.
Okay.
And Tirubhuvanam silks. These are all the cultural heritages which are also taken by some of our faculty members along with students for making case studies and also the team activities. Okay. In which the students are all having the opportunity to work in groups where they can learn to collaborate and adapt to a diverse workforce while completing specific tasks. Furthermore, the pupils are also taught numerous management and negotiation abilities of those works, and students also complete projects in each course throughout the semester. They are expected to do research, analysis, or journal publications on the most recent industrial trends, as well as these cultural and heritages and monuments, apply theoretical concepts and comprehend and suggest new solutions to business difficulties. These are also taken by ourselves. This is what I wanted to share and I came forward. Thank you for your opportunity.
Thank you, sir. If you may add that what in this way, the experience that you have gained, if we want to enrich case studies in accounting and finance for the students level, so again at different level, graduation, post-graduation, what is your opinion with regard to this?
No, sir, yet to arrive at with accounting and finance regarding this. No, we have been doing commonly, but we have not yet made in a specific way of accounting and finance.
So, sir, if I may correctly, have we been correct in identifying this gap that it is there? Are we on the right track? That through this discussion?
Yes, we need to. Yes.
Okay, sir. Okay, then you are it will be fantastic for us to have you on board, your team members as well, your respected colleagues as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, Rangarajan sir.
Thank you, sir.
And Amudha ma'am, you were saying something?
Sir, along with my colleague Dr. Rangarajan,
Yeah.
if we have a collaboration, we will also try to write up the case studies in
Sure.
our region.
Fantastic,
We
ma'am.
extend our consent also for this.
Okay, I will take up this responsibility to get all of you together and if you allow me, I will take up this responsibility. I will create a WhatsApp group of like-minded people so that
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely, we can do that.
Definitely,
We can
sir.
do
We
that.
five
We can do collaboratively.
Exactly.
We five will definitely do this, sir.
Sure, ma'am. And it will give me the opportunity to visit Tanjore. I have seen so
Yes,
many
yes, sir.
videos on this,
You
but
can
I have
come
not
as a resource
experienced.
person also, sir.
Yeah,
You can also
because
come
I
as
have.
the resource person.
Yeah,
And
it will be my pleasure.
as a token of love and affection, we invite you online to address first to the students once they resume back after the third wave.
It will be my pleasure. It will be my
Right.
pleasure, Indra.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank
We
you.
will
Thank
keep
you.
in touch with you, sir.
Surely, we will.
Thank you.
And I'm getting very positive vibes. Honestly, this is giving me a huge satisfaction that the participants, you are coming and responding. And this is exactly what I wanted, that from different parts of the country, we have different culture. So say, for example, what I love is, say, for example, a couple of years back in 2018, I took my students on industrial visit to Anand in Gujarat. We visited the Amul plant over there and some other edible oil plants, etc., etc. We visited Ahmedabad with the students. So we had a fantastic time over there. The Gandhi Ashram. Now, before visiting, if I had got some cases like this on Gujarat and if I would have given it to them, so it would have been so very interesting that I can engage them, and that is what I did in my this. Even when I'm organizing this, I have a very committed group of student participants. Apparently, it seems, my experience, I am younger to many of you, but what my experience says, we take it for granted in India that students वो लोग तो कुछ नहीं करेंगे, but once given them the responsibility, they turn out to be the best. That is what we have seen. So if we even engage the students who are coming from the rural areas, there are fantastic things. There are fantastic stories. One of my students who is a part of this organizing committee, he basically comes from a village. He gave me a call some days back. Very near to that is a village. Have you seen those shola? If you have seen Bengali brides and grooms wearing those crowns on the wedding days, that material, that white material with which statues are now built of this. There is a particular village which has been recognized by the government of West Bengal for their entrepreneurship skills. But people of those villages are not technically trained. Now, I cannot take a Harvard case study to train them. Uske andar dhanda hai, if I may use this word in technical terms, within quotes. Dhanda hai uske andar, but they do not know how to present it in front of, to pitch it, to get the funding. So if we can spread this kind of academic and finance knowledge, because what I have understood, that even the best of the brains, when they come to our institute, to our department for MBA training, finance is something पैसे से डरता है. पैसा उसे चाहिए, but पैसे से डरता है. Even the professors of other departments, they pay 1,500, 2,000 to get the tax return filed. Whereas to handle the Instagram is equally tough. It requires equal skills. So, but this is what I feel, that when I ask somebody that, sir, have you asked for your password, your person, okay, he is taking care of your tax returns. Have you ever seen your online profile? No. Why should I? I have paid 2,000. My job is done. So, and a senior professor who has got more than 200 publications, I can't believe that he won't understand a simple ITR one. So this is what I want. Even the grassroots level business people, if we, आज जो बिजनेस ओनर है वो नहीं समझेगा, बट उसका बेटा जो आज क्लास या बेटी जो क्लास 6 में पढ़ रहा है, by the time they are at class 11, 12, if we have simple case studies of mithai ka dukan. India is famous for mithais, as ma'am said, that Rasgulla of Bengal and Orissa and what not. Jalebis and this, that. We have different kinds of mithai. Mysore Pak. Whenever any friend comes from Bangalore, I ask him to bring a Mysore Pak packet for me. So it's like that. So why not develop something like this? Okay, sir, in the polls, just if you have a look, we are getting responses that firstly, if you all have a look, I am allowing the poll to be seen by everyone. Till now, only 19 polls have come. Others, I'm just requesting you to I'm launching the other questions as well, and I'm requesting you to go through this feedback. Is the feedback now getting visible to all of you? If any one of you can confirm if the feedback is getting visible. The poll results, I mean. We have 12, I have posted 12 questions in the poll.
So the feedback is not visible. The feedback is not.
I have made it, okay, I have clicked it over here, show everyone the results. I guess after the ending the poll, it will come. I will end it, say another 10 minutes down the line. So my first question to you all, as you have, many of you have responded, is, have I heard of teaching with case studies? Till now, 22 respondents all have said yes. We all have heard. Then I have just, during my college or university or B school days, I was taught using case studies. I see a 14-18. So a 2:1 ratio approximately. So yeah, 2/3 have been taught, few have not been taught. Okay. Do I teach with case studies? Majority are saying yes. We are coming from these schools. We are coming from the good institutes. Yes. But if I take this poll to say the rural colleges, I guess my response will be pretty skewed on the other side, isn't it? What is your opinion saying, sir and ma'am? It will be a bit skewed. If you have other opinion, please tell me. I feel accounting courses can be taught and made more interesting using case studies. All of you, out of 20 polls, 19 are saying yes. So if you are on board with this, I feel, sorry, what we can do is, we can, as it was discussed towards the beginning, we can add some fat and muscle. We can add something to this to ensure that the accounting, in the accounting courses, instead of calling them numerical problems or illustrations, let us inject it within the students right from the beginning that it is a caselet, accounting caselet. We will do caselets on depreciation. We will do caselets on reserves and provision. We will do caselets with regard to, say, finalization. That is not final accounts, that is finalization. Okay. Even in my book, I have written them as illustrations, but gradually I want all of us to change. Had I written those things right at the beginning, the acceptance would have been a problem. Now, when I asked Shefali Singh ma'am, thank you for accepting this. I would love to listen to you. In the 5th question poll, I just asked, I feel that courses in finance, like corporate finance, M&A, business valuation, etc., as Navlin ma'am said, that for M&A and all these advanced finance courses can be taught, made using more interesting case studies. All of you, 21 responses, all of you have agreed with that. This is something which I wanted to observe, that with regard to the advanced courses, cases are available. Teachers are also available. We can access those cases, and the students are also prepared to address those cases. So the gap for me is lying at the starting level. So if we can make these things popular, I guess the commerce vocation, and I presume in the long run, or not very long run, in the short run or medium run, the term commerce gets removed by something else. Because in commerce, what I have understood, everything, every vaccine was injected to me. Okay. A law vaccine was injected, a management vaccine was injected, a tax vaccine was injected, a cost vaccine was injected, accounts to chori dijiye, double dose क्या triple dose booster भी दिया गया था. ठीक है. But gradually we lose, ethics was injected. But again, research was, in our days, I guess most of you will agree, research was not there. Even at master's level, dissertation was not there. At MCOM level, dissertation was not there. This is something which is needed, which has to be addressed. And from here, if students know about cases, the situation is something like that. If students come to know about cases, in research level, they will take up case study based research. We all know that teaching cases are different from research, the qualitative approach of doing research using case study research. That is a different thing. My own PhD is industry research on industry case study research on the Indian aviation sector. with respect to deregulation exercise. So there is hardly any financial analysis to show that it was not questionnaire based. It was totally, I wanted to, that was a phenomenological study, if I may say, that deregulation, what happened to the industry. So that is an industry case study. But honestly, after very many years, I understood that my work is an industry case study. So I call ourselves, the Indian academicians, more like a Sehwag than an Australian batsman. We play out of our talent and we become champions. Okay? But if we get what a Gilchrist, what a Hayden got, or what a Steve Smith gets, a proper training, formal training with the talent, we will produce the Yuvrajes, the Kohlis, and this, what is happening through National Cricket Academy, or what is happening now in Bollywood. Now, I always believe this, that in India, it is Bollywood and cricket especially, because of their mass following, we do not have, what we say, religious mindset blockages, or we do not have reservations over there. We can see a Shah Rukh Khan against a Kajol, who is a Brahmin and who is a Mohammedan. Okay? And that makes the best pair of our time, at least. We are pretty old now, of the 90s, I'm saying. Okay? We can see a Ranbir Kapoor dancing with, say, a Sikh lady, okay, which makes a fantastic pair. The musician, the music is provided by, say, somebody from, the playback is by Arijit Singh, who was born and brought up in Asansol, West Bengal. Whereas the editing is done by somebody who has been trained in Pune Film Institute. So when this is there, why not in academics? This was my question, and that is why I wanted to get the opinion from all of you. Now, in opinion 6, what I asked is, I guess in the screen, it is visible to all of you. Here it is. I feel that the best available case studies, the Harvard, the Ivy, the European Case Center, etc., are suitable for students in India. And as I can see, that look, the responses majority of are saying is no, it is not available. They are costly. Okay? Many of our institutes, be it the government-sponsored ones, be it the private ones, except the elite ones, cannot afford this. Or even if they can afford, the authorities who decide this are not aware of it. That is what my opinion is. I don't think that they reject it. They are not aware of it. So another 10 years down the line, when people from us become the seniors, so that if we are aware of these things right from our mid-age, so when we become seniors and when we become experts of different institutes and we are asked about that, should these be subscribed for, I wish we should be prepared. Which our preceding generation, I don't blame them. They were not exposed to these things. That is why they do not know the benefits of this. So instead of blaming them, ki, sir, man, you don't allow us to do this, let us prepare ourselves so that our next generation doesn't suffer from this. This is what my opinion is. In the 7th point, I see that in my opinion, there are adequate Indian scenario case studies in India. Indian scenario case studies, 12 of you are saying as against 7, that yes, there are. But sir, I guess, I personally look upon India. It is, for me, it is Bharatvarsh. Please don't take me politically, because India, as I study history, I understand the word India came from Indus, and Indus is a name given by the Greeks to that river. Its name was Sindhu. We were Sindhu Sabhata, whatever. That's history. But what I understand is, I consider India to be the United States of India. Okay? Every state is a country on its own. Had this been a continent, we would have our passports filled every year. Okay? We are going to, and we would have so many international publications. एक दिल्ली से पब्लिश करूं, हो जाता इंटरनेशनल पब्लिकेशन मेरा, एक हो जाए गुवाहाटी यूनिवर्सिटी से, इंटरनेशनल हो जाता. हम लोग यूनिटी इन डाइवर्सिटी में पब्लिकेशन हम लोग का इंटरनेशनल ही होता है. आई बिलीव दैट, because it is equally tough to get a publication done from, say, St. Joseph's, Bangalore, or say Amity, Noida. Okay? So that is what my belief. So there is enough opportunity in every corner of our country to develop cases. And that would make it so very interesting if we can come out with small books, that cases on Gujarat, okay, or finance cases from India, where each chapter is from each state. So that will give a fun to the students even to watch that, okay, a Gujarat fast food restaurant case, say a Patiala, a sports entrepreneur's case, something like that from different parts of the country. We can pull together and I'm looking forward to your participation in this. Point 8 was, I have attended workshops and FDPs on case writing and development. Yes, again, 16 of you have said yes, 5 are still no. I want to complete this 5, that let all of us attend this. And I'm sure, like me, many of us are attending more workshops, not on case studies, more workshops during these lockdown phase through webinars. So let us as institutes organize more and more these cases, case study specific workshops involving our college students, college teachers, the teachers who to whom we serve the syllabuses, the curriculums, so that they pick up the nuances and they take it up to the college students. And so that when the students come to my university classes, the students should not be introduced to something new. I want the input to be prepared for us. Ninth question was, I am adequately aware of teaching case development process. Yes, all of you are aware. That is why I didn't share my PPT slide. I need not address you. That will be, I don't want to do that. If you want, I can share that PPT slide, which I developed for Amity, Kolkata. I would love to share that. I do develop case studies for my for the students of my courses. Again, 15 of you, hats off to you. Definitely, it's a fantastic thing. But again, the 6 who are saying no, I'm focusing on that part. I'm not downgrading you, but I want you to join our bandwagon. That, yes, please, let all of us develop case studies. We will learn from the seniors who are experts in this. Yes, Rashmi ma'am, some books are available on this, but it is few and far between. I use the book for my finance classes. I use the book by a respected professor, I.M. Pandey sir of IIM Ahmedabad. He has come out with a book which is published by Tata McGraw-Hill. So I use that for my students. But again, I have experienced this because the students have not been introduced this at the college level. It is a jittery for them. I cannot start these things from semester 1. As ma'am rightly said, that these are taken up at semester 3 or semester 4. So if these things are, if we go one step back and make our college teachers enriched, then definitely, I'm sure another 5 years down the line, things will change to some extent. Our point 11 was, I think case studies will be useful for students of commerce, management, business administration, by whatever name we call it, at UG level. Look, I have got my response positive. Yes, 19 of you think it will be for the UG students. And for PG students, look, it is 22. Now, I want to listen to those 3 of you or 2 of you who think that it will not be useful for UG students. I will be very much eager to listen to your opinion. Now, we have 2-3 minutes time to wrap up this issue. If some of you, I'm getting good responses. Gorthi Bharti ma'am, you have written, dear professors, we all will come to the platform and develop a good book of finance. Ma'am, I want a series of books. Let us dream big. I'm a dreamer. And if we can share the responsibilities without any prejudice about each other, I am senior, I am junior, इसे नंबर ज्यादा मिला है, उसे कम मिला है, ये अमीर है, ये गरीब है, प्लीज छोड़ दीजिए. इसका बाल है, इसका चला गया है, छोड़ दीजिए. आज मेरा है, कल चला जाएगा. ठीक है. ये हिंदू है, मुसलमान है, छोड़ दीजिए. We are teachers. We are here for the betterment of our students primarily. That is what drives me every morning. ठीक है. Rashmi Soni ma'am, there are some books of Indian case studies available. But the issue is that teaching notes are not there. Exactly, ma'am. That is the problem with even I.M. Pandey sir's book. We can fill that gap. Say, for example, if within our this case study group, if we say, for example, take up this I.M. Pandey sir's book, and if we say share each cases with a group of say 3-4 esteemed colleagues of amongst us, and say give the responsibility to that group to develop a teaching case, share it amongst all of us, get a feedback, and if we can get to it, even if we can contact I.M. Pandey sir and send him those responses, that sir, please give us your expert opinion with regard to this. We follow your book, we can take it forward. And if that is what I'm saying, just as an example, we can do this for other cases as well. And at the same time, monetary benefits are always welcome. But if we think on this line, then it will become like those European and the Harvard cases. Our majority of the students will not be in a position to afford. So let us not think about the revenue model right now. We will see that how we can give shape to it. But let us start this. This would be my dream. And I'm seeing so many of you on board. I'm so very happy. We must ensure that it is not a Titanic. Bus. It should be as simple as a boat, as those boats which ply across on the Ganges in Banaras and all this, year after year. Small and simple, but consistently it should be flowing. That is what I love to this. Any other opinion? I'm now closing the link, this poll. I guess it will be, I'm ending the poll. I guess it will be visible now. Let me see if after ending the poll, it is visible to you. Anybody else who wants to communicate? Gorthi ma'am, Dr. Amit Mojumdar, anybody else? It's 11:30 and I would love to get your response, at least in the WhatsApp group. This is something which has been suddenly planned, and this is the idea which came to my mind. This is the way in which we can remain connected, and instead of just posting what FDP and webinar is happening in our institute and asking to sir, koi participation kijiye, ye kijiye, spread it amongst your students, let that be there. In addition to that, let us come out with something constructive. That is what, and with this, this is the end of this session from my part. If any one of you want to add something, please.
Thank you very much, sir. This session is adding many more thoughts in our mind. I'm Bharati, Dr. Bharati from Hyderabad. I'm suffering with COVID. That's why I could not talk in the session.
Okay,
I'm
ma'am,
also
please.
having so many thoughts in my mind, which I could not share in the session. But really, sir, it's very, very thought-provoking session, which is giving us many ideas. What you mentioned about Durga Puja, even in Hyderabad, we have Ganesh Puja, Durga Puja, and all.
Exactly.
I pass on that road whenever the festivals are happening. I'll see a crowd who are coming to purchase so many idols. So there are like many more things which are we are observing daily, but because of this session, many thoughts are coming into my mind.
Ma'am, we must just promise one thing to ourselves. I suffer from this at times. The adrenaline rush comes during these sessions, but it is tough to maintain at times. If we have a team, I am sure that team will bring out the best in us.
Exactly, sir.
100% कभी भी possible नहीं है, होता भी नहीं है किसी से every day. ठीक है, I am
हाँ,
giving more than 100% for this last 5 days. Now after this, definitely my brain will require some break. Okay. But at that point of time, somebody else should pick it up. But in this way, I want us to proceed. And I'm so very happy, and I bow down to all of you that you have agreed to this proposal, which I have put forward to all of you learned scholars and teachers.
It should be like a marathon, what you have mentioned. Academic entrepreneur, yes, it should be like a marathon, and we all should be holding a torch to go forward.
Exactly, ma'am. And our dream, let us have a dream of making the outside Indian people buying Indian cases from us.
Exactly, sir. Exactly.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. So with this, we have, ma'am, wish you a speedy recovery. With this, I would like to say Professor Ohindra Chakraborty, sir, has joined the session. Sir, welcome to this session. Ohindra, sir. Yeah. Respected sir has joined. So can we continue this session if you people say, or we end this session and join again, because that gives the sir, it's a small request. We need to end the session once. It is the same link. That is for the sake of attendance, because Google Suite records the attendance automatically. The morning session is coming to a close. Okay, just you join now. We will just share the link again. It is the same link. In a minute's time, you join. It will be a fresh session that we will start, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for contributing with your valuable thoughts. We will take it forward. It's a promise from my side, and I know it's a promise from all of you. Thank you, everybody. So we will join